What is up, everyone? It's Simon, and we are back with another video where I'm going to be talking about one of my favorite things that is always in this bag. Do you know what it is? Do you think you know what it is? It is the Litra Pro. Alright, so I need to start this video out with a full disclosure. I am an ambassador for Litra. They're not paying me to make this video. I'm not supposed to say anything specific about this product. They don't even know I'm making this video. However, it is a product that is always in my bag, and it's something that I'm using more and more on projects, so I wanted to talk about it. Plus, if you click the link down below, you get 15% off and I get a cut. So you're helping me out and I'm helping you out if you click that link down below and purchase one of these bad boys. All right, let's get into this. What do I like about the Litra Pro? How did I find this product? The whole 9 yards. And well, I was really starting to look at upping my lighting because it was lacking. I knew it. It was just one of those things that in all of the situations I'd run into, every light that I liked the way that it looked and what it was able to do, it was giant or needed big batteries or needed wall power, which is all things that I don't guarantee when I'm in the field, or I just can't take it if it's too big. All of those little small panels, just for some reason, were never really bright enough for what I was trying to do. The aperture f7s were okay, but the plasticky build, I just was never a huge fan of. I do use them from time to time, but once I learned of these, those kind of took a back seat a little bit. That being said, this thing blew my mind when I first learned about it. My buddy Tom that works for Nat Geo was handed one of these, and he brought it to a trade show we were at a couple years ago and was like, hey, you need to check this out. This would be perfect for you. And let's just say from the minute that I turned it on the first time, it was love. I'm just going to give you guys an idea of how crazy powerful it is. First, we're going to start at 6,000 Kelvin. So you can get that nice pure white daylight, whatever you want to call it, and it can go all the way down to 3,000 Kelvin, which is perfect, and it goes in increments of 100 Kelvin. So you're really able to fine-tune your Kelvin adjustment with whatever room you're in. And this is currently on at 5%. So we got lots of power. To give you guys an idea of just how awesome this light is, we're gonna go up to 5600, which is what the rest of my lighting is at. And then I'm gonna show you guys. So we're at 5%, and now we are at 50%. And I'm pretty sure that I'm quite overexposed already. And then we're gonna go all the way to 100, which I can guarantee that this is white because there's nothing there because it's just way overexposed. And it hurts my eyes even trying to look past this. It's bright. So we're gonna go back down to 5%. So yeah, super, super bright. And they have light modifiers, which make it awesome. They've got the barn doors, which are handy if you're trying to control the direction of it. I use these. This is probably my second most used light modifier of theirs. The silicone diffusion cover is my favorite because I pretty much leave one on and then I can throw this into my pocket while I'm in the field. And then they've also got this softbox, which is pretty nice. And it gives you a little bit larger surface area of where the light source is. So it softens things a little bit, but it doesn't get too big. And the cool part with it is the light pops off, and then this actually breaks down into 6 pieces and has its own little carrying case, which I love because it makes it easy for traveling. The reason I don't use this quite as much as the other modifiers is because it does take time to set up, and the situations that I find myself in, it's all about speed, and having this just handy ready to go is huge. Now, what do you get if you buy one? Well, you get the light unit, obviously. You get the silicone cover, which is super handy. You get this little USB to micro USB because that's how you charge the unit. It just has a little door right here that pops open, and you can plug it in. You can charge it off of a battery. You can charge it off any USB plug. It comes in super handy. Yeah, I don't know exactly what the power requirement is for charging, but I have never run into a USB plug that won't charge this thing. You get this little bag, which comes in super handy, and then you also get a GoPro mount. So if you're using GoPro accessories, you can hook this on. I never really use these because I don't carry GoPros really anymore, but if you are one of those people that uses it, it comes in handy. Yeah, so that's what you get when you buy it. So one of the things that I wanted to do was discuss some of the ways that I've used this and how this was a huge thing for us when we were in Ethiopia last year. And I basically carried one of these around, and I had it on an articulating arm with a NATO clamp, and it just came in super handy. So I've actually got 3 images and a behind the scenes of each one loaded onto my iPad, which we used the Litra Pro to get the image. So let me just open these up, and there we go. All right, so the first photo we're looking at is the sewing image. One of the things that we ran into a lot in Ethiopia was that these were really dark rooms that were only really lit by window light, and these were super small windows, or it was one really small bulb in one corner. But one of the nice things about a lot of the spaces we were in is there was something that you could clamp onto. So right here, I'm actually gonna, there we go. I'm actually gonna go into markup on this. 1 second. There we go. All right, so I'm gonna go to green. Hopefully that will show up. Yep, we're good. All right. So as you can see from the previous photo is over here. This is where the lady was sitting. And then the only way to get the camera where I needed it to was to use the Platypod Ultra, which is another one of my favorite little small things that's always in my bag just in case, to get it right into this window area, which got the right framing. And then I had to shoot, one of the things that I really like is that slow shutter. So I wanted to be able to drop the shutter down, but I also needed to have enough light coming in from the top because this window just wasn't giving us quite enough light into the room. So that's where you can see the little NATO clamp up here with the light. Just clamped it right onto the window, no big deal, which is what allowed us to get the shot over here. And I'm gonna jump back out, discard changes, and go back to the final image. So you can see what it ended up. So we actually have, all of our main light coming in from here. You got a little bit of light. Oh, gotta go to black, hang on. There we go. So we got our light coming in from here. And then we've got a little bit of light coming in from the window over on this side. And all that's behind her is literally just the light from the Litra banking off of the wall. So you can see how it's really filling up the room. One of the things that I found is because of the fact that the body is the heat sink on this, it does get very hot when you are using it at full power for a long time. But that was one of those things that it's worth it because we were able to get the shots that we couldn't get otherwise. It just was super, super handy. Next, we've got this cooking image. It was another one of those rooms that was extremely dull, like zero light in this room. She had one small light fixture up on the ceiling that was like over in this corner over here. And so you couldn't see a thing in the room. And I tried to shoot it initially with the A7 III just because of the fact that I could get up to the higher ISOs, but it just wasn't a good looking image. And so what I ended up doing was putting a Litra basically right next to my head right here. And I will switch to that image now. You can see up top, you can see up top right where I've got the image. So the camera is right up against the wall shooting this way. And then the Litra is really giving us all of our light. And again, this is that same little NATO clamp with the articulating arm that just came in super handy the entire time. And that was with the little silicone cover, just because it's what was super easy for us to use and just made it a whole lot easier and a whole lot better. And then again, the one light filled in all of this space back here as well. Yes, we do have a little bit of shadow because of this piece of wood here, but it was worth it even though it's not quite exactly like a perfectly clean frame. We're not dealing with situations where I really have the flexibility to deal with that and get all of that like perfect luxury. And this is one of my favorite images from the entire trip, which is women cooking for the feeding program. And originally what inspired me in this room was there's this vent on the roof that had this great beam of light that if you look at the BTS really is shining. There we go. Edit, there we go. Come on. All right, so this big beam of light was my inspiration for what I wanted to try and get a little bit of. But as you can see, it's going right over these women's head, which is great for a shot from the door, but it didn't show them cooking. So what I wanted to do was I wanted light, again, just using with the silicone cover because it's what we had easily available, hooking it onto another one of those pieces of wood on the wall over here. Let me change the color. All right, so we're over here. And as you can see, it's just literally clamped, pointed in the right direction. I actually aimed it right at like this woman standing here, trying to get it like just over the pan, because what I wanted to do is I wanted to try and collect as much of the steam coming off of the pan as I possibly could. And then after I got a couple shots coming from the doorway, I switched and I actually went back here and basically just tucked into the corner and captured this way, which is what allowed us to get that image. And that is the final result of that image. And I did still have to do a little bit of like select tweaking. Using the brush tool in Lightroom, I was able to, where's my edit? Boom. So in post, one of the things I had to do is I had to brighten up right here a little bit. And then I also had to brighten up a little bit in this gap right here where I just wanted a little bit more detail that we didn't get initially from it. And as you can see with a lot of these spaces, we didn't have room for bigger lights. Like there's no way I could have, never mind the fact that I couldn't carry like a light panels or anything like that. We just couldn't get any of those really big lights into the space. So this little teeny light that I'm able to literally just like throw into my pocket allowed us to get the shots that we needed to get to be able to create some great imagery that YZM is able to use for their marketing. I can't say enough good things about it. They are perfect for the size. As I said on their Instagram on a live talk the other day, This with the little silicone diffusion cover is my favorite combination just because of how small it is. And a lot of times when I'm working overseas, I have cargo pants on and I will throw this into one of the cargo pockets. So that way I always have something that I can add a little bit of extra light into. And again, just because it's so stinking bright, how can you go wrong? It works perfectly for literally everything that I could fathom. Yeah, so if you have any questions about the Litra or anything to do with that, leave a comment down below. If you guys are curious about the Litra, want to know more about it, click the link in the description as well. And if you guys have nothing else, be sure you hit that subscribe button because we're going to be putting out some more great content in the near future, and I want you to be involved in this community. So, other than that, have a great week. I'll see you guys next time.